Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast.
If you don't make mistakes, you won't learn.
With your host, Corey Winfield.
You know how you know fish is bad is you can't put it on pizza.
And special guests, Justin Burke.
The thumbnail totally does not depict the movie at all.
Jesse Smoker.
I pulled the string and it was a tampon.
And Mitchell O'Brien.
He goes, "You recorded me while I was sleeping?" And I was like, "Nope." He goes, "Winfield did?" He got this terror in his eyes. And I was like, "Nope." And then he's like, "It was Smoker."
Got your ass.
It is the 21st of September, 2024. Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. My name's Corey Winfield.
I'm Justin Burke.
Mitchell O'Brien.
Jesse Smoker.
Hold a string. Hold a string.
Hold a string.
Surprise! Now we're all doing a Saturday podcast today because we're hitting the road going to a place in Michigan. There's a city called Kalkaska.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably many have driven through it.
It is a drive-through, yep.
You know, thinking they were going to go up north to some pretty stuff, and they were like, hey, we'll pass through Kalkaska.
Get to see that big fish.
I was about to say, the only thing nice in
trout
Kalkaska
festival.
is that big fish.
I don't know. I went to the Wesco. I think they have a Wesco there.
No, Kalkaska? They don't have no Wesco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Don't have
Where?
no Wesco. Pretty sure. Would you like to bet a paycheck on this, Justin Burke?
They have a Wesco there.
In Kalkaska?
Yeah, you take a right
Hold
at
on,
the
I'm
shell, and the
still-
Wesco's on the left.
Still betting them. Would you like to make a bet, Justin Burke, on a paycheck?
No.
Smart move.
Damn it.
That's good.
Because I've been to it.
Yeah, I've been there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And didn't really spend much time other than just at the Wesco. Probably just getting a donut or something, maybe some gasoline.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's kind of all. And I think we were invited to go to the trout festival, but we would have had to man the tent all day or something. And I was like, well, I don't really have staffing for that.
Yeah.
And especially since I hate fish.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's go to a festival that you hate.
Don't go on pizza.
Have a pizza festival. Your boy's going to be there.
Right.
I'll be there all day. Donut festival, I'm there. Have a Wesco festival. That's what we need to do.
Wesco?
Yeah, start a Wesco festival.
Yeah.
And then
Just don't name it Waco.
yeah, we'll spell it different. We'll spell it like Gaylord spells Gaylord.
Yeah.
And we'll say, no, it's not Wesco. It's
You know what? I just Googled it, and there's no Wesco in Kalkaska. I should have bet you your paycheck.
We'll see when we stop at the Wesco in Kalkaska today.
Yeah, let's do it.
They closed down?
There's not one there. The closest Wesco to Traverse City is Benzonia, and then the closest one southeast to us is Lake City or Cadillac.
You could be
Obviously.
right. You could be right.
Too bad you didn't take that bet, huh?
I wasn't trying to lose a paycheck. I got a kid to feed.
That's right.
They're expensive to feed.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, well, that's on the recovery. And this is the Recovery Dads
Crew.
crew.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing 217 podcasts today. But yeah, we're going to Kalkaska today because they are having, it's being called the Talents of Recovery up north.
Yeah.
That's going to be good. I'm excited. I don't really know what we're going to get into, but
Never know. It's the
I
beauty
think
of
it's
it.
going to be exciting, though. A good day. Weather looks good.
Yeah. The inaugural festival that they have. And
Yeah.
it's one of the coalitions up there. They're doing like, hey, we want to do something for our area. And they invited us and they're like, hey, you guys are pretty effing awesome. Would you grace us with your presence? And we're like, yeah, sure.
Nice.
We'll be there. Do some tomfoolery.
I was a little disappointed that isn't the annual
They knew. They heard.
recovery
They know.
talents.
Yeah, they know. They knew better to put that on their flyer because that's how people know.
Yeah.
Because I bust their balls. You don't put first annual. There's no first annual.
No.
It's not annual. It has to be annual to mean annual. So it's the inaugural. So, yeah, proud of them for that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for just knowing. 12 to 6 is what the time they say it's going to go on. We're going to get there about 11, so maybe set up.
Yeah.
It's at the Railroad Square in Kalkaska. And if you listen to this podcast and you're like, damn, I should have went to it. Well, that's why you listen to the podcast when you get the notification that it's new. You listen right away, drop everything that you're doing
Yes.
and listen. But if not, we like I said, some tomfoolery. We might do some audio stuff from out there. Nice. We'll see how that goes. We got some new technology. Some equipment got upgraded yesterday. So we probably will have some videos finally, at least for our Recovery Dads podcast, because we're all going to be there. Why not take some videos and some pictures like
Yeah.
the opening and close says that. Go to our website for all the videos, and then you go to recoverydads.com, and this is not any videos.
We try. We coming.
Yeah, but we'll do that, and it'll be a good time. It really will. So look for some pictures and stuff like that. How was your guys' your Friday yesterday? Was it a good fun Friday for everybody?
Smashing.
Yeah, good Friday. It was a good,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good
good.
Friday. Yeah.
Justin?
Yeah, it's pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my boss hooked me up with some new technology.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool, boss.
My ride was all right.
All right.
Good.
Went down to Richmond.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I got to exceed some expectations on the recovery rides that we do.
Okay.
Somebody had said, I like to use you guys to transport people because you're there when you say you're going to be there.
That's what we do.
And I rolled in just a couple minutes early, and it felt good.
Yeah.
They're like, they literally said, this is why we have you guys transport people.
About communication.
Yep.
They don't have to wait around 2 days. They have to, are they coming here? No, you know exactly when they're coming.
8 p.m. rolls around. Here comes the guy that's supposed to be there at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Got a hot date, but you can't go on it because
Yeah.
run a silver living home, and this dude's supposed to come in, and you got to drop everything to do that. Yeah, I can see why that would be a pain in the ass. That's why we communicate with them. That's why we do what we do.
And my son stopped by the office yesterday.
His stunt son.
Oh,
Yeah, my
nice.
stepson.
Stunt son.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It went good.
Good.
We're going to go out for dinner after we get done at Kalkaska.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Anywhere special?
Some fish.
Probably not really. Anywhere
Probably
special.
not really.
He wanted to go to Outback, and I told him, I was like, you think I'm rich or something?
Wow. Okay.
That's for real.
Outback's nice, though. I mean,
It is nice.
You get that dark bread and butter at the beginning.
It's
and-
free, dog. Just have them eat that and give them a cup of soup. And be like, we out.
Gotta get a blooming onion, though.
Tell your waiter to be like, look, bro, I got a 20 spot in this for you. If everything that kid orders that's over $9.99 is, we're out of that. You say we're out of that, I got 20 spots just for you. I want the flaming, out of that. I want the, out of that.
I think Olive Garden right now is doing that endless pasta bowl,
Ooh.
which is always good. That's
Nah, I don't want that. I want the trio sampler
Yeah, well, you know. I'm just
out of that.
saying.
We're out of that tonight.
$28.99.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all go through that.
Shit, you can't even go to McDonald's now.
No.
Under that.
No, it's like
Dude.
$20.
Yeah.
A bacon or no, a sausage, egg and cheese McMuffin. It's almost $5
Okay.
for just that.
That's why I don't get the egg.
Wow. So how much is it without the egg?
I get two.
4.5.
I
So
get
it's almost $5.
I get-
$4.75.
I get two of them, and it's like $3.75.
Oh, so if
For
you
just-
had no egg?
Yeah.
Oh, so
For
you just get the bread and the meat?
Yep, meat and cheese.
So you're getting your protein from the sausage.
It's very unhealthy protein from them.
I need the double protein.
I don't know. I'm not a protein neurologist. It's not a neurologist. What's it called?
Nutritionist?
Yeah, I'm not one of those
I
people.
was proteinologist.
Could be. Could be anything. I wouldn't know. I could make a bet on it.
Well, if you know something about anything, you're just an ologist of that thing.
I'm glad that you guys had such a great Friday, though.
Did you
How was
have
your
a good
Friday?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for asking. Friday yesterday was 20th September 2024. It was tough for the Winfield family, little Parker included. He was there with us on Thursday, the 19th of September 2024, roughly 4:30 p.m. when we walked out of the vet. As I had to put my precious Nico to sleep for good. So it was a tough day yesterday. Coming back from that and waking up and looking over to where Nico normally sleeps, kind of down by my bed and in between the bed and the wall. We had this little bed for her that she refuses to lay on, but she would just lean on it like a pillow. And like during the night, Thursday night into Friday morning, I just kept waking up looking over there where I'd always see her, and she'd always look up at me and go, I'm like, you being good? she was gone. She wasn't there. So it's just weird starting my day, trying not to trip over her, trying not to step on her. She wasn't there. Step on. And I miss those days that I used to have to work myself out of bed. It's hard for a fat guy because you can't just, like, you got to roll. It's a process, especially with back problems. You know, you got to kick your legs over. And you gotta, so it was tough. It was a tough day, man. Yeah, my cat Nico, who was with me through some really dark, terrible times, man. And when I first got her, it was in 2010, and right after my grandma passed away. And my boss at the time, because I was like, I got to go back to Michigan for this funeral. And he's like, well, 4th of July is that next weekend. You need to be back here for 4th of July in case there's an event we're doing. So I had to leave the family early after burying my grandmother to come back to fucking Arkansas. And there was no event to fucking go to. So I just sat there all weekend. So I ended up looking through the paper and getting a cat. It's free kittens. And so I drove over and I picked this cat up, and the lady said, oh, yeah, no, it's never been outside. I'm like, doesn't it have fleas? No, and it's good. I'm like, all right, cool. Get home. Just fleas everywhere. So I give her a flea bath and stuff. But like, that was kind of like a healing thing for me from losing the grandmother. And so she kind of helped me with that. And then I bought a home down there. She moved in, obviously moved over from the little duplex I was renting for $370 a month.
Wasn't rent so amazing back then?
Holla.
Just in Arkansas alone. I mean, shit was cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's insane. Like, they were like, hey, you can get this. You guys would be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't big, but damn, it was nice. Hardwood floors and stuff. Roaches every once in a while, all the time. But
That's all right.
they call them water bugs down there.
Yeah.
It's a water bug. I'm like, that thing is big as my cat. Like, Nico, she would get them for me. She got into getting bugs. And then, like, when I went through the whole kidney failure thing, like, it was the first time I ever really laid on the couch, because before I would just sit up and then I would pass out. You know, like, just pass out drunk.
Yeah.
And so when I got home from the hospital, I had to keep my feet elevated because my legs were still swollen. Mm-hmm. And she, like, would jump up and then, like, really started cuddling with me. And if I would just say, hey, Nico, you want to cuddle? She would jump up and be like, let's go. You know, she was a very smart cat. And, you know, moving home and then leaving radio, having to go back to live with mom and dad, you know, and all that stuff. And Nico was just in this little room when I went to treatment last time. You know, she was in this little room because I ended up moving out and getting my own place, but then she had to go back, and she was just like stuck in this little room. And I think my mom and stepdad for at least allowing that. Yeah. And for my stepdad for getting attacked every time he would try to feed her. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it because she was a sweet baby kitty, but
Yeah, she was.
But just to leave her there for 5-6 months, because I went to treatment for 3 months or 2 months, and then I went to sober living for another 6 months. So all that time, Nico was just hanging out by herself in this little ass room, and I felt bad for her. I remember one time I came home for something, and my mom was like, "You gonna go see your cat?" And I said, "No," because it was too hard, and I don't think my mom understood that. You know, that it was very frustrating for me. But I've seen so many people use that. Oh, I can't go to sober living because I got a dog. I can't go because I got a cat. And I did not want that to be an excuse.
Right.
I didn't want to have excuses. And I looked at the bottom line like, yeah, I love my cat, but at the end of the day, I got to love me. I got to be there for me, and I got to figure this shit out. It hurt me to know that she was up there in that room, and she probably could hear me and knew I was there, but it was too much emotionally for me to deal with, and I knew, like, I couldn't go up there to do that. My mom was just like, well, you didn't even see your cat, you know? And she's going to tell you that she didn't say it like that, but she said it just like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So when I was able to go to a sober living house and manage the house, that was one of the things. I'm like, well, I need to have my cat. And they're like, okay, that's cool. I'm like, all right, straight. So then she went from that little room to a different little room, but at least she'd see me.
Yeah.
Right.
And the guys in the house kind of liked her, and she didn't really try to go out of the room too much. And it was a good time. And then, you know, Marnie, she kind of knew, like, oh, the cat's part of the package too, you know? Yeah. So I was like, if you want all this man right here, you got to have that little kitty too. And
That's right.
And Nico wasn't a huge fan of other people, and she kind of grew to love Marnie too. And it was just kind of magical how that kind of bond happened. And we had like this beautiful picture, and I'll show it to you guys if you haven't seen it, but it was around Christmas time, and Marnie was decorating the Christmas tree, and Nico loved Christmas. And she was putting this ornament up. And I took a picture, and Nico's just looking at her like, I'm knocking that down, right? But it's just like a perfect like Christmas picture, and we're gonna have that forever. And you never know why people or things come into your life, but I believe pets have souls. I really do.
Oh yeah.
And she got me through a huge part of my life that how many times I was laying in bed withdrawing, and she would just come up there and just lay by my feet, and just to know that she was there was very comforting. So Nico, love you, girl, and I'll see you again one day. But I'm so glad that you guys had such great Fridays, though. It's pretty cool.
I'm sorry yours is so sad.
Glad that you guys had a good one. Yeah, hey man, not to take away from you guys' parade or nothing, but
no,
obviously.
Oh, I understand.
Wow,
you have had Nico a long time though.
14
out of the newspaper.
14 and a half years,
Yeah.
2010.
That's a long time.
Down in Arkansas, I still think that's how they communicate with newspapers and stuff.
That's how long I've had my kid.
I was about to say
Can you
the same
imagine
thing.
that? Having to put them to sleep too, and
Right. Put them in the newspaper up for sale.
I did that. Yes, that was part of my day yesterday, my Friday.
I wish you could do that.
No fleas, no ticks. Indoor child.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty. That's
Yeah,
all
but
true facts.
when we took her to the vet though, because before she had this huge kidney stone, and I thought she just hated me because I would change her litter and she would just shit right next to the litter box. I'm like, I just changed it. Like, what are you doing? And so I'd chase her around. I'm like, no, don't shit on the floor. And I feel so bad, and again, uneducated as a pet owner to know like that is a huge sign that something is wrong with your cat. Something's not right. So finally, after like a year or 2 or 5, I don't remember how long, but we took her to the vet, and they're like, oh, she got this kidney stone about the size of a baseball. I'm like,
wow.
what? And they're like, if this was a male cat, trust me, you would be knowing. But since the female organs are different, whatever, she can live with it, but it's still very, very painful. And so we had dealt with that, and so I'm like, okay, cool. Well, all of our cats, I don't know if they're like bulimic or what it is, but they have an eating disorder, I think, because they're all throwing up. And so we've seen this throw up in the upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. There's just cat throw up. We're cleaning it up. And the other day I saw a cat throw up and then poop. I'm like, all right, which son of a bitch is it? It's 3 of them. And then days go by and I see more throw up in the bedroom, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? And we're thinking it's the little one because he just runs around just puking everywhere. Like that's his game.
Yeah.
And so I pick it up and I go to walk in my bathroom to go throw the puke away, and I step on something, and I knew better to put my toe all the way down. I was like, oh, hold on.
Nice.
Flip on the light, and there's turds, and then I see like where I had kind of kicked it.
Yeah.
It was like a string of like mucus and blood. I said, that's not good. So I pick it up, I look at it, and I flush it, and I thought I should have took a picture of that. But I didn't. So I just kind of was like, let's just pretend that didn't happen. But I knew that that's bad. I start Googling it, and then it's just like, oh, no, that's bad. And if there's puking involved, then this and this. Shit. So then, like, a couple days later, I see another puke spot in the bedroom, and then right behind that, like, she was doing double duty. Like, it was puking and pooping at the same time. And I picked that up again with some toilet paper, looked at it, and blood. I took pictures. And then I sent that to the vet, and they're like, yeah, bring your cat in.
Yeah.
So I did that on Wednesday night, and then Thursday they called, and they're like, can you bring her in like now? And I was like, yeah, I'll bring her in. So I brought her in, and then they called, and they're like, okay, well, we did blood test. Doesn't really show too much. One thing that really is freaking us out is her body temperature. It is extremely low. And sometimes when the cats get freaked out, and like she was real nervous and like vomiting and stuff like that in their cat cage, normally that spikes it. And it didn't do that. And she's still not, her body temperature is not warming up whatsoever. It's nothing near normal. So they're like, if we do x-ray, I can tell you that it's going to show something that we're not going to like. And that even if we did like a surgery on it, she's not going to survive. So we would recommend, like if you can take her home and, let her live it out, but that's not going to be a very good life. And she probably is in some pain. So I was like, all right, let's do this. And I was trying to mentally prepare myself when I started looking up the blood and all that on Google. I was trying to mentally prepare myself like this is happening. So it was tough, but
Yeah.
having Parker there with me did help.
Good.
We're in there and like Marnie's crying, I'm crying. He's just like, blah, 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 talking and smiling.
That's
And
good.
It's like, but Daddy, you got me now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but it's a tough loss. And
It is.
how many times has somebody lost an animal or a pet or a loved one and went right to drinking or using again? You know, like I could have easily used that as an excuse.
Yeah, very real.
For me, thank God, and I'm about to cough. I know it sounds like I'm real choked up here, which it would be understandable if I was,
Yeah,
but
it's okay. You're in a safe place.
you know, and I'm in such a better place that there's still a chance. There's still 1% chance, you know, that could have made me lose it, and you know, but I'm glad, and I thank God that I'm in a better place now, and I thank God that Nico was in my life. You know, that's how I kind of look at things, and I think that's how we gotta look at even when we lose a loved one. You know, like, thank you, Lord, for letting me know that person and letting me spend that time with them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, and I'm a better person because of Nico. You know, like there was many times that I had to buy cat food instead of the expensive liquor. You know, so I had to,
Right, yeah.
had to get that rot gut stuff.
That's right.
But it makes me want to throw up when I think about it today. So that's good.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't living that high life. So yeah, it was tough, but now we're here and now we move on, and that's part of life. You know, death is a part of life. Mm-hmm. When I got that cat, I knew one day she's going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't just like walk around the corner one day and there she is all.
Yeah.
I think that would be worse.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you weren't selfish and brought her home either. You thought about her. She's hurting. She's not in the best shape. Got to do a hard decision, but you made the hard decision.
There's some people that let them, like my mom, not to be ragging on her or nothing, but so I'm like, she had a cat, and this thing, it was, you know, once they get them neutered, they kind of get bigger and all this other stuff. And this cat was huge, and then he started just withering away, and it's just like, Mom, did you take him to the vet? You know, like, what's going on? You know, like, get him to the vet, put him down.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that she eventually did. I can't remember, but Marnie had kind of a similar situation with someone that she knew with her dog, and like it was blind, couldn't walk. Like you had to like physically take it outside to pee.
Yeah.
Blind. I mean, it was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let him go, man.
Yep. My mom did that too, to a cat, and it was sad. I'm like, why don't you go put him to sleep? Like, it's so he quit suffering, and like he already can't walk around your house because he's blind. You know, just be nice to him and do the nice thing. Don't be selfish.
The dog that I got when I was a teenager, we were 15. His name was Cooper, and he was almost 17 years old when we finally put him to sleep. A year before that, you were starting to really notice. Like, he stayed in his youth for a really long time. He was a good dog. Like, we got him right after the car accident that killed my grandmother. Like, we kind of got him as like almost like a service dog, you know, like therapy dog. And he was really good at it. He was there when my son was born. Loved that kid. Gave him all his food, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, he's like through all these big things in my life, like basically my entire life of addiction almost. And we took him in because he just looked like he was getting older. We thought, like, you know, he's getting slower and thought he was in some pain. And they ended up telling us, like, no, he's got some time left. He definitely has arthritis, and we got a medication for him so he could be more comfortable. And he lived for another year, and then it got really bad, and kind of similar like what you're talking about. Your story about Nico reminds me of the end with Cooper a lot. So,
And it's cool that Nico knew me sober for you know, almost 6 years. So that was kind of cool, and she got to see that. And I don't know, it was a few months ago, I could tell there was something. She wouldn't come downstairs as often. She would just stay up in her bedroom the whole day. And then, I mean, these past couple weeks, like when I would get out of bed, I'd make my bed, my part of it, and then she would jump in there. And just like, that's her spot now. Now that if Daddy's in there, it's Daddy's spot. If Daddy's not in the spot, it's Nico's spot. And then she stopped doing that. So I knew, like, oh. But before that, when Marnie was pregnant with Parker, I just started seeing some signs of her not coming downstairs a lot. And I remember having a conversation with her. I was like, Nico, you need to just hold on and meet my son.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And she was the cat that wasn't freaked out. And I thought she would be the one that would be freaked out by Parker's crying and just being around. But she was just cool with it, man. She was just like, all right, that's little man. And she would still jump on the bed. When he starts crying, she's still up there like, all right, man, what's up? And the other cats are like, they're out of the room. Like, oh no, get out of here. And it's pretty cool that she did get to meet my son, and she got to see me be actually sober and complete the process. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, rest in peace, Nico. You're a good kitty. She was.
Yeah, she was.
So
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Because it's something I kind of wanted to do, and I wanted to do it yesterday, but it wasn't really fitting. And today we actually had some time to do it, and I appreciate you guys being a part of the podcast to talk about it. And before we go, have some fun today.
Absolutely.
Because there's that mourning period, but then there's that time where well, I'm still alive and I still have duties and responsibilities and things, and if I just sat home and moped about it, it's not going to do any good. So yeah,
proud of you.
Thanks, Mitchell.
Proud of you too, man.
Thanks, Justin.
Copycat.
Well, I mean, you could have took a really wrong turn.
Jesse just gave me the,
because it was a very devastating moment, and you didn't. You thought about everything else that you still have to live for.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a little different too when you have a kid, you have a child, and then like you actually become super busy and other things are going on in your life. Before that was my kid. That was it. That was Nico. That was my responsibility.
Right.
That's why it was my job to take care of her. Mm-hmm. And once Parker came along, once I got married too, then it becomes okay. Well, now it's Marnie and I and Nico, and then Marnie started like wanting to sort of cat farm.
Yeah, she did.
So it was like, here's Luna, and then no, Luna needs a friend, and now it was Bryn, and then Bryn, we had to put Bryn down, and Marnie had to take him, and that was very sad because he was a sweet little kitty.
Yeah.
And he got the cat COVID, and his like belly just started like expanding. I mean, it was that little poor guy. And Marnie said when they poked him to do a shot, like she said, it was just like pus just
that's no good.
squirting out, and it was bad. And he was just such a sweet little boy, and that was a tough one for us. Yeah. And then we got a little Hudson, his crazy little ass.
Your little terrorist.
Yeah, he's something else, man. That little MFer. Like I feel bad for him because he wants to cuddle, but we got Parker in the bed, so in the night he'll come running up and just headbutt me and just like bam. I'm like, what are you doing? And so I start swearing at him, and he's a cat where if you hear this, he's gone. And he's not just gone. He's going to run over your face, hit the lamp, everything that you have on, next to the bedstand, knock all that shit off, run around, and then finally leave the room. You're like, dude, if you were really that scared, exit's there. Why do the run all across my face, my body? He did that to
oh shit, I got to hide, but I got to touch everything first.
Yeah. Claws out, too. Like he tore Marnie up the other day.
We have Oliver, and he's the head butter. He does that. I'll be like pouring his food. He comes up. I think it's a thank you, but he hits my, and then it's all over the place. So I'll come up to him now, and he'll be sitting there waiting, and I'll have the food, and I'm like, no head butting. And then he sits there the whole time, and he won't. If I tell him that, he won't do it. But when other people come around, he's talking about Hudson like chasing, running and stuff. You don't see him leave. Like he's there, and you look away. Somebody new comes into the home, and he's gone. He does not exist anymore until they're gone. You can go look for him, and you will not find him. You can go downstairs, in the back rooms, everywhere. He's just no longer exists. And then they leave, and all of a sudden he comes walking out like he was never even missing. It's just,
And Nico was great about that. Like before, like back in the day, before like DoorDash and the Domino's app that tells you when the person's coming. Like if I got food delivered, which I did most of the time because I was drunk, couldn't drive anywhere, Nico would just be like, "Did you?" I'm like, "Oh, food must be here." Like she had, like she knew when someone was at the door or coming up to the door or something. Man, it was actually kind of convenient.
Nice.
I could put pants on, be like, "Okay, let me put my pants on." And I'd hear knock, knock, knock. And she'd be like, "All right." But yeah, Hudson, man, he's something else though. He'll crawl up on they have this pillow because I'm like, don't want to crush my child, so I'm like, hey, we got to have this pillow between me and Marnie and the child. That way I don't roll over and just kill them all.
No.
So I had this pillow there, but then Hudson, he'll try to come up, and I'm like, no. And he'll stop, and he'll just wait on the pillow. And then you like close your eyes for a minute and you open back up and he's like 4 inches closer. And you're like,
Tell me no again.
what are you doing? And I caught him. I faked, closed my eyes, and I still see him. And he's like just inching up, like he's military style. And his belly just, I'm like, stop it. Open your eyes. He stops like, I ain't doing nothing. He's a little closer to you and you're like, you little MFer.
There's that video. It went around the internet for a while. There's a cat like further away and somebody with their camera peeking out, and every time it was never moving, but every time they peeked it out, it was closer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how Hudson does it, man. He's a trip, but he's the most loving male cat that I've ever seen in my life. Like most male cats are kind of like, all right, that's cool, man, whatever, see you later. Yeah. This dude loves to cuddle, loves to get up in you, and well, I mean not like that.
Hey.
No,
Obviously.
But
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
Yeah. Pull the string. That's a cat. That's a tail.
I've never had to do the string thing with any
Thought
of our
Richard
pets.
Gere's story was bad. Let me tell you, one about Corey Winfield. You gerbil it.
Okay.
This candidate. All right, well, I guess that'll wrap us up for today then, won't it?
Yeah.
Let's be ending on a little fun, good note. But yeah, we're going to be in Kalkaska. It'll be some good times for sure. So even if you hear this podcast and it's Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or whatever, 2 years from now, go check out the pictures from the event because we will take pictures. And we'll have some videos for Recovery Dads. I don't know what kind of videos or what, but we're planning on doing some tomfoolery today.
Yep.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks for listening. And if you want to go back and listen to, say, when I had 4 months clean, because the podcasts were much different then, you can go back on the app, which is free in the app stores. Search 217 Recovery. And you can listen to all of them. You can listen to 2020, 2019, 2022, 2023, and then this year's as well. There's tons of podcasts and episodes to listen to. So if you want more, they are there. And you can also find them at 217recovery.com.
Later.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen to over 900 episodes on the 217 Recovery app that's free in your app store or online at 217recovery.com.